Hi, Leo and Leo Rising. Welcome to your June 2016 extended monthly reading. I hope that everybody is doing well and that you survived retrograde. We have an exciting month ahead with the solstice energy coming in, and I'm hoping that that brings you a sense of sort of like recharging and a new sense of direction. Uh, what I was thinking of when I was looking at all of the signs this month is that really the theme is about letting go. We already kind of went back to things that had been issues from the past. Of course, that normally is what a retrograde is about, like looking at something, having a chance to let it go. I really want you to absolutely let it go this month. Your channeled message is surge. It was an interesting sort of image that came to me, which is I really feel like you could take your energy, your inspiration, and kind of go anywhere you'd like. The sky is the limit this month, and that's exciting. So let's see what your catalyst card is. For those of you that are new to the channel, catalyst is basically the ignition. If you think of like a catalyst in physics, it's the thing that makes everything come together or a reaction happen. So if that surge is what the universe wants to bring you, the vehicle for doing that, it's a beautiful card here actually. We have Morgan Le Fay here from I believe that's from King Arthur, but it's magic. And this is a newish deck. So you have a second message, which is basically inspiration. And so the double message that I'm getting here is through your own ideas, not others, you're going to come up with something that could set you apart from the crowd. So for those of you that might be like a fashion designer, you could be some sort of a new age artist, whether it's through music, painting, sculpture, or something unconventional, maybe mixed media. This is something where, again, you bring your own unique flair to something, and it's not that it hasn't been done, but it hasn't been done this way before. So remember, your personality is what's going to be magnetic and pull people into everything that you do. So just really have fun with it and do something that is that feels unique and magical and also ignites your spirit. So for those of you that aren't artists, what this means is even a practical job, if you have like an MBA type job, the way in which you sort of conduct your team meetings and arrange things in the office could be you could put your own unique fingerprint on it. The way you raise your children could be the same way, but what it's saying is magic is everywhere. You just need to look, or you need to create it if it isn't what you want it to be. So you're more powerful than you think. Morgan is your friend this month. Okay, now let's take a look at what the cards have to say about June. Remember again, the solstice energy comes around the 20th. So first week of the month, we'll be getting out of the shadow of retrograde. And then you should start to feel really that surge of energy happening. And I like that we got magic coming through for you. All right, so the first thing I see is getting in control of matters at home. We talked a lot about work, about art, things like that, but this is a very practical center reading here with the Seven of Vesticles or the Seven of Pentacles and the Chariot. The first thing I sort of channeled when I saw that was that you need to understand what's going on with your finances, with your material goods, like check up on your car, check up on the all parts of your house to make sure that you're doing preventative maintenance, because this card is saying whatever you put in, it's starting to not only pay off, but it's going to allow for your long-term stability. So if you have a leaky roof, fix it now. We're out of retrograde. You should have done it in retrograde. Now you can do it. And you're going to protect your investment. Whenever I read the Seven of Pentacles, and it's come through for almost every sign this month, which is interesting, what I see is an improvement with finances, with security, with sometimes with confidence. I don't always read it as confidence, but it can also be confidence. But you are already starting to see that it makes sense to put more energy into saving, securing, and preserving. Okay, that's a good way to wrap it up. The Chariot card is just saying, do not delegate. You need to be hands-on with all of these activities. And if you are overseeing something, if you've already started a delegation, you need to check in daily and make sure that everything is being done to your level of perfection. okay? And I really did get the word perfection, so that things have to be absolutely right, or you have to redo them. This isn't a month to compromise. When we look here in your deep past, you've been doing a great job over the past 3 or 4 weeks of really focusing on relationship building. We have the Three of Cups in reverse. What this means is you put a lot of energy in everyone else. Don't forget yourself. For those of you that have children, this also might be a month where they're going to need a little bit more. Family could come first. Well, it should always come first, but it may be pulling at you a little bit more than usual. So allow that to happen. No, it's not going to be a permanent state. It seems like there are some issues from the past that could come up that you need to deal with, and then I feel like they're going to fade away pretty quickly. For those of you that were really proactive in retrograde, that may have already sort of solved itself since it is in the deep past. Once you do that, it's time to look at your own personal relationships, love relationships. So whether you're married and maybe you've spent a lot of time on your children but not on your partner, then now is the time to basically cherish one another. For those of you that are dating or thinking of dating, with this card reverse, it means that there's a little more work to do on yourself first, but it's absolutely a great month for you to date. I would say just take the first week to wrap up all of these matters that we're looking at, and then you're going to have a lot more focus, a lot more attention span when it comes to dating. I'm looking at this sort of, it looks like there's a little bit of a fertility vibe that's going on with this. So for some of you that are thinking of conceiving, again, the card was reversed. What I would say, with the solstice energy coming around the 20th, be persistent, but give it a chance. I would say you're going to have more luck towards the end of the month if conception is something that you're looking at, okay? For those of you that are trying to create a relationship or find a relationship, this has a similar read. It's saying, someone that you're trying to pull in, it has to happen naturally. This is a weird sort of illustration. It can be a fertilized egg. It can also be like a balloon. It can also just be about energy coming to you. There's a lot of things that come through with it. But one thing that I get when I see it more as a sort of a balloon or a floating opportunity above you is that you can't control love. Okay, so the best thing that you can do is offer somebody the opportunity to be in a relationship with you. They'll either take it or they won't. And this is the hardest thing that I probably have when I do one-on-one readings for people is I may tell them that someone isn't ready to receive the love or isn't interested, but they think, well, they just need to give me a chance. What I'm going to say with this is you give them a chance, and if it's not what it should be, then the universe is giving you opportunities to move on, okay? So I'll quote this in my one-on-ones too. It's a Bonnie Raitt song, but I can't make you love me if you don't. So that's what's sort of happening here. You can't make someone fall in love with you, and vice versa. If someone looks good on paper but you're not feeling a connection with them, then this is pretty indicative of the universe just saying, hold off, not right now. The Hermit card in reverse at the top is basically saying that a lot of you are getting ready to step out of your shell. And this is a great month for it because we're entering into the longest part of summer. You're going to have beautiful days to spend with loved ones. As a reminder, I understand that some of you on the other side of the world are entering into the fall months. So know that sometimes I have to step aside from my my geographical bias there. Either way, what it's saying is if you've been stuck in your house a little bit, you need to get out. So whether the weather's cooling down or warming up, take it as an opportunity to enjoy your surroundings and do something that's appropriate to the season with your loved ones or just with yourself, something that's going to feed you and make you feel like you're alive and you're part of the universe here. Okay, Five of Swords in reverse. I usually don't look at the words on these cards, but this one does say acceptance. Some of you may be having a hard time accepting either the amount of work it's taking to achieve a goal, because swords are often about the physical labor that's happening. It can also be about the communication. But what's happening here is it's going to take time, and it may take 3 or 4 months from what I'm getting from this card. So allow yourself to just be grateful of the work that you've done so far to get where you're at, and then don't focus so much on, oh, I still have to do this. Just think, each day I'm going to knock away a little bit, chip away at the block, so that before you know it, you've made some headway. Sometimes you can't focus on how long the race is. You just focus on what you did today. communication could be tricky for many of you around the second week of the month. And when I'm looking at the King of Swords in reverse, it can also mean a difficult air sign that's coming through for you. So a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius. And if that's the case, just try to steer clear of that. For your own communication, though, I want you to weigh your words, practice better empathy if you can this month. Try to think how the words and actions could be received by others, and temper the language that you use so that you're going to get the best optimum reaction for this. So the interesting thing is, if you think of a diplomat or a politician, sometimes they're not telling the truth, but the very effective ones find a good way of delivering difficult information. The other ones are the ones that give everyone a bad rap. So what you want to do is take a true diplomat, which is to not hide from the truth, to not sugarcoat things, but to really think about how you can best deliver it, because we have a lot of different words and they all have different connotations and delivery. So what you want to focus on is picking the best way to say it. Okay. It's time for a vacation for some of you. The nine of Swords comes through when there's a lot of stress happening. And sometimes you get so in the weeds of the stressful situation that you lose perspective. And what you'll see if I turn the card upright is there's a victim mentality that can happen here. And some of you are victims, so that's okay if you are. And what you need to do then is to seek some help, or to find someone who can love and support you through a difficult time. Because I never want to not sort of empathize with that. But for some of you, and really what the true connotation of the Nine of Swords is that it's not as bad as it seems. And so that there's always a way to find a brighter spot. Okay, so I'd love for you to, if you can't do a vacation, to find a way to shift your energy, actually maybe your whole person, to a new location, so that you can not be sort of stuck in the same rut. So if you can do this, we have this beautiful Ace of Wands, Ace of Staffs card, which is showing basically it's almost like a phoenix moment here. You're going to find stability. And since Wands is fire, you might also find inspiration. You could take, for those of you that truly did go through a very difficult part of your life, loss of a loved one, abuse, physical or mental abuse, and then you came through the other side. What this card is showing is you have a story to tell that could inspire, heal, and teach others. And that's why I'm encouraging you to get out of this. You can channel the feelings, the thoughts, into something more beautiful, whether it's volunteering for a nonprofit, whether it's some sort of an creative work, or something that's inspired by your life, or just mentorship. But you become this sort of beacon of light. It's a beautiful card. And I really, really like what it shows, which is that's going to be your new sort of grounding. And for those of you that are looking to share with others, whenever I get the World card, and this does have a phoenix on it, it's basically showing me outreach, publishing, broadcasting, going like 10 times bigger than you ever thought you could. So, and further than you thought you could. So it's a great time for you to set your bar extremely high. Go run that, marathon race that you've been thinking about. Try to write a screenplay and get it produced and made into a movie. This is your month to go really, really big. And for those of you that are also looking for a move, I see a move probability happening towards the end of the month, or trying to settle on like selling your house or a legal matter. The energy is going to be really good around the 20th, 21st of the month, but also the very end of the month, since this is the end of the major arcana. So let's take a quick look here and see if I missed anything. I think I covered the main salient points. Now let's take a look at the message coming through for health. And a lot of times it's interesting this month, I've been getting sort of like money and wealth information when I look at health. And it just shows how closely related some of these things are. So for your health and well-being, the card that comes up right now is Believe in Yourself. And I believe that this is very, very close to your Catalyst card, which is, again, magic, and then whatever inspiration or personal sort of thumbprint you could bring to your life or to situations around you. So believe in yourself. Even if, or especially if, parents, loved ones, peers have maybe bullied you or belittled you or said you're not enough or you can't do it. This is your chance to find your inner strength, call on the angelic support around you, and you'll notice it almost looks like, well, she's swinging. For a second, it looked like a wand to me, but what that shows me then is that motion can happen. You can actually swing yourself into a better mood and a better sort of area where you can manifest more. Let's take a look at what's coming through for your wealth opportunities. And I love this one. This is basically saying, for those of you that are really, really focused on money, the end result, how successful you are, it's saying that lighten up a little bit and focus on not taking yourself so seriously. And we have great Buddha here, which is just sort of enjoying the finer things in life. So this is a great time to do something that's playful, that may seem silly, because what it's going to actually do is recharge you in the long run. So do give yourself a chance to sleep in, to eat one of your favorite desserts, to do some sort of a splurge, because this Buddha did not exercise a lot of restraint when it comes to that. So I'm seeing it's okay to splurge a little bit too. All right, so that's going to help you. And it was in your wealth. So the other thing is people tend to gravitate towards someone who's just got an open and bubbly personality. Not everyone's going to be like that. A lot of people are just, I'm focused on what I need to do. I don't have time for jokes. But it's a lot easier if you can just sort of take a deep breath. And then when you're with someone, just do some small talk. Humor means lighten it up. So before you go straight into whatever it is, whether it's a difficult conversation to a loved one, or it's a financial negotiation, or it's about you coming out and saying something that people aren't ready to hear, lighten up the mood a little first, and then all of a sudden, people are more receptive to what you have to say. Okay, let's take a look at love and relationships. And much like I said at the beginning here, this is a chance for those of you that are already in a long-term relationship to really get to know one another much better. And if you've been spending more or an inordinate amount of time on children, it's time to hire a babysitter, have an older sibling sort of take care of them, and the two of you have a date night and get to know each other. For new love, this is a month to take it slow and really get to know all parts of this person. Basically go past the facade and make sure that this is someone that you want to spend your life with, perhaps, or at least get to know a little bit better. Okay, so now let's take a look at the Destiny card and see what it is that's calling you sort of like across health, wealth, love, and your overall destiny here. So this is a month here to focus on learning. We have Lu, and we have this beautiful card showing skill, and it's a very strong masculine card, which shows me the act of doing. We have two beautiful feminine cards at the beginning showing the act of sort of like conjuring, dreaming, and then also thinking. And this card is saying, please, please, please execute upon this. So your summary card is basically to go ahead and go after everything that you want and start to execute on it. So let's do our end of reading summary. I know it's really helpful for a lot of you because there's so much information that I cover. The overall theme for this month was to let go of anything that you didn't in retrograde. Your channeled information was that you should be getting a surge of inspiration, of energy. I see you sort of imbued with light, with love, with opportunity. So in your meditations, if you don't have a practice, start one. And if you do, incorporate the idea of energy surrounding and imbuing your body. I mentioned really taking care of your house and home first and foremost, because we have the 7 of Vesticles in the Chariot. And this is a place it's where you always come back to. But if you don't feel safe and secure at home, then other things start to fall apart. Children will need a little more attention towards the beginning of the month, but the second or third week, it's time to to just sort of redirect that energy towards partners, maybe parents as well. But the children will still be there. You'll still love them, but you have to start to reallocate the energy. And it's all about setting limits too, because children can sometimes take too much. So you have to sort of help them understand that everybody gets a turn. Good month for you to come out of your shell, whether irrespective of the season. I want you to do something that allows you to feel open to celebrate that you're alive and well, and that I want you to sort of get out with other people. Patience is really important this month, accepting maybe difficult news that it's going to take longer. There might be some sort of a setback, but the energy is really positive in the long term. And what I see is that you can take any sort of heartache, any sort of difficulties that you went through, and really bring those and share them with the world in a way that's amazing. For love in general, if you do meet an air sign this month, I would be very careful. So if there's a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius and they come across as being a little critical, this probably isn't the month to start a relationship with them. I really see it as a month to get out, date many people, or to take an existing relationship and grow it. Also, when we look at your extended cards, there's a lot of information coming through on self-confidence, on really trying to not take yourself so seriously, and just to get to know not only like loved ones in your life, but coworkers, friends. It's a time to take a mindful pause and let them do the talking. You're going to find out a lot of very useful information by that. And then whenever you have a spare moment, to work on your bucket list, to do all of that. Basically, I want you to take at least one of your great ideas that's inspired by this Morgan card here, and bring it to fruition with this Lu energy, with that surge that I saw. So that is it, my friends. You have a really beautiful month ahead of you, with only one or two areas where it might be tricky, but the outcome, the world, shows me that you're capable of a complete transformation by the end of the month. So kudos to you on that. If you'd ever like a one-on-one reading, I do offer those. There is about a 4 to 6 week wait at the moment, just because I've been super busy. So be patient, and if you have any questions, let me know on that. Otherwise, a great way to keep in touch is just to go ahead and hit subscribe, and you'll find out when I publish all the new readings each month. I also have a newsletter, and that's a really great way to find out when I've published something new. And if you just want to keep in touch and then join the community, I also have a great Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter page. So pick your favorite social media and join me. I would love for you to be a part of that. If you found this useful, you can also choose to donate. I put a link here in the corner as well. So every little bit of support helps. Otherwise, I just really appreciate the opportunity to share time with you every month. You have a lot of different people that you can choose, and it means a lot that you decided to let me come into your living room or your house and share my time and my skill with you. So take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic June. Enjoy the solstice energy, and I'll see you again next month. Bye-bye.